Morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are. Anyway, I want to share this experience I had working in a nursing home. You see, it's very good to be vigilant, and I know sometimes we care to don't want to bother or lazy to do certain things, but every single thing or every aspect of working in a care home, as whether a nurse, a caregiver, a health worker, whatever title you may hold, it pays to be vigilant and to stick to the rules and to do your work to the best of your ability. So while I was working in this care home, I was on training, and I went to work one evening, and there's one resident. She always rings the nurse's bell, always ring the nurse's bell. So that particular evening, she rang the bell, and there were some workers that say, "Oh, Cho, let me call the patient, Miss B." So Miss B rang the bell, and some workers were like, "Cho, a Miss B that a fair style. Every time she ring the bell, she just keep ringing the bell." So even though I heard that, something in me felt some type of way. I have this nervous feeling, like a voice talking to me saying, "Go and check to be sure." So I followed my feeling, I followed my gut feeling, because I wanted to be sure for myself, because I was on that night shift. People, lo and behold, when I went to the lady's room, the woman fell from the bed. I found her on the floor. So I put my head out through the door and I called out for assistance, and a nurse came and assisted me. So we took her up off the floor, and following protocol, we leaned her against the wall and pat down for any injury or any if she hurt, or when you're patting her, if your fist you move in a funny way, say okay, that place hurts, or she might be feeling pain there, or she hit there or whatever. So I did all of that, did the pat down, everything, placed her back in bed. When I went downstairs, I notified the supervisor. Didn't see she move, didn't see she walk off to go and look if the resident is okay or check up on her. Anyway, when I was ending my shift, each shift, those who know, each shift you have to write a report. A specific amount of residents is placed in your care on each particular shift. You have to write about everyone, all of the residents that are placed in a care for the shift. So when I reached to Miss B's book notes, I wrote everything. I wrote the time I heard the bell. I wrote the time I went to the room. I wrote all of what was carried out when I found her on the floor, from when I found her on the floor to what we did and placed her back in her bed, to the report that I made, and I wrote every single thing. So a couple days after that, I was meant to go off for sick leave because I had an operation to do. So I went off. For those of you in England, you know Guy's Hospital. I was laying in Guy's Hospital on the bed, and my phone rang. When my phone rang, I answered it. It was the manager from the nursing home. She greeted me and I greeted her, and she started off by saying there was an incident that occurred on whatever night with whatever patient, and I was on duty. She saw my report, but she wants me to repeat in words what happened. So, as clear as day, same like how I tell her now, me remember everything. I explained to her what happened, the procedures that I took, what I did, who I told, and wrote in my notes. She said she read my notes and it's very clear, and she heard from me now, and both my notes and my verbal speaking adds up. You know what the manager told me? The manager told me that they took the woman to the hospital and she's suffering from 7 fractured ribs. That is not the meat of the matter. Do you also know that the report that I wrote was the only report of the incident that happened on the shift that night? My report was the only report that covers the nursing home. There was no report from the supervisor, and no other staff member had the report in their book. Even the girl that assisted me to lift the lady up, she did not write about it. So when I heard that, I was like, thank you, Jesus, because you know, sometimes you must follow your own instinct. Sometimes you follow people. Do what you know is right. Because you see, little after the manager called me, you know who called me? The supervisor. And she was like, oh, do me, I beg you. And anybody call you, say XYZZZ. Me say, well, I'm sorry, because I just spoke with the manager. She said, Jesus Christ, wait, you tell her? I said, I had to, because the lady was looking, the lady had my notes in front of her and called me just to get a verbal, just to get me speaking verbally about the incident. But my report is right in front of her. So I'm sorry, there's nothing that I can do. So that supervisor got fired, and the rest of people on the shift that night also got I think they got some form of punishment. I don't think they were fired, but the supervisor was fired because she's the leader for the shift. But the remainder of staff, I think the girl that assisted me in the room, she got some punishment. The rest of staff never really get punishment, because to be honest, the rest of staff were tending to their patients. It's only the girl that I call. They wouldn't have known unless I have spoken afterwards. And the girl that came with me and assisted me to lift the lady from the floor, she got punished. Because I mean, you assist me, you should have write something. Say me call you what said XYZ time, and when you came in the room you write what you see too. So me and our story would collaborate, because we both did it together. And my story alone add up. My notes alone, my report alone turn up in the people in nursing home, and a big prominent nursing home. You hear? So this just go to show you that anytime you're doing something, do it to the best of your ability. Do it the right way. No cut no corners. Because sometimes you get say shortcut draw blood, and no lie. Cutting the corners and following other people can lead you to your own demise. Can lead you in a problem. You can lose your work. All kind of things can happen when you don't follow your own mind. Follow the right way. Follow the thing. Do what is right, and do what you're supposed to do to the best of your ability. So that is my few words today. Just be vigilant, especially when we come out to these care homes. Know on work. Do on work. Be true to what you do, and only the good we wanna do, I will follow on. Okay? Out.